and welcome all those watching Metal Talk this evening, or at whatever point in the day. Here I am with the wonderful guys from Preacher Stone. Gentlemen, it's always good to catch up with you.
Good to see you, Paul.
Good to see you, brother.
Hello.
So, last time we saw each other was at Made of Stone at the end of the UK tour last year, and you'll be back here shortly. I say a lot has happened in that time in the interim. See, we've got the new album coming out, and which is, I was listening to it earlier on. Great new album. But just for people who aren't aware of the band, if they've been living under a rock for the past few years, so you've been around since 2008, and you came together in Charlotte.
That's all true.
It's it. Yeah, Marty founded the band back in '08 and hired Ronnie, and it went through a couple of changes, and you ended up with all the beautiful smiling faces you see now. This lineup's been together for the better part of what, Ronnie? 14 years, 15 years?
Yeah, you and Ben about 12 years. Wyatt's 10. Daryl's the new guy.
Yeah,
I'm the only original guy, but it's gotten better. It's improved and gotten better. All right. It's gotten better as we've gone along, and we're growing. And we lost you. You mentioned the last couple of years, losing Marty and losing Johnny were tough. And we got Daryl, and we went over a list of people that we knew. And Jim's like, "What about Daryl Witt for Whiskey, Seals, and Mash?" And I give him a call, and Daryl's one of us. And we said earlier, I think Ben said it best. We weren't looking for a guitar player. We were looking for the guitar player, and Daryl was the guy. So he just fits right in. So welcome to the dysfunctional family that we are, and let's go.
That's the thing with you guys, there's very obviously such a bond between you. There certainly was, last year, and I guess, Daryl can tell us, it must have been quite daunting to come into the setup where you are all so very close.
I mean, I already knew them, so I didn't really know how crazy they were, but I had a. But honestly, it's very we fit together pretty good. So musically and all the other aspects, I think.
I would agree with that. Yeah, but I mean, you can't. I mean, there's lots of fantastic players, in out of the Carolinas and in the Southeast U.S. I mean, but you got to find somebody you can travel with and write with and hang with that has your similar dysfunction of sense of humor and be able to put up with all of our little quirks and stuff. We've seemed to have been able to not kill each other in the hotel room and smother with a pillow or anything. So I believe we've got something. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
are you fit there, Josh? Wyatt, what's up?
Wyatt, what's happening?
What's going on?
You look cold, Wyatt.
I just want to ask you a question. Are you warm, Wyatt? That's all I want to know.
I'm super warm.
Okay, just checking. That's all I want to know.
Hey, I'm practicing for the UK. I'm going to be not cold. You hear me?
Yeah, it's like coming over here for winter. I don't know what it's like normally for you guys, but it's pretty.
It's brutal.
It can be, yeah, absolutely.
Lord,
it's similar. It just doesn't rain quite so much over here. We're all in the foothills of the mountains, and it'll be chilly when we leave. It'll be chilly when we land, both ways. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. We're just, Wyatt came in Tuesday with his new fur coat on and stuff. He's going to be ready to go.
Oh yeah, no headaches this time. We in there.
But obviously, to use a bit of a cliche, obviously the weather might be cold, but you get such a warm welcome because we love you guys over here. And there seems to be, and I was talking to Ricky Medlock about this earlier on this year, and the Skinner guys, and there's a real affinity, I think, with Southern rock in the UK. And I think because there's a lot of it is the storytelling element of the music, and I think you guys are really good at that.
Thank you. I've thought about that too, but I mean the storytelling I totally agree with, and that's a big component of this music for me and all the people that I admired. But I think another thing too about this genre is, Wyatt and I were talking about it the other day, and I went away thinking about it. And people in Southern rock can play. The guitar players can play, and the singers are soulful. They're storytellers. Some of them great voices. Some of them just voices that fit the song or whatever. And that's bass players in Southern rock and drummers in Southern rock can play, and I think that translates to there's an authenticity about the stories being told because it relates to life, but there's also a musicianship that's compelling in and of itself that makes it very listenable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, the UK fans have been nothing but spectacular to us, and we try to treat them the exact same way, and they I think they gravitate to that because we're just working guys too, and they come out and we hang out and we rock and roll, and and you mentioned the new record that just came out in October. It's been well received, and we couldn't be happier.
Yeah, so By the Horns it's a very, so I think another thing with you guys is there's a blue collar honesty with what you guys do, and the new album is very, it touches on some real subjects, reality. It's not just the whole cliched Motley Crue rock and roll lifestyle. You're addressing real issues.
It's the real rock and roll lifestyle is the way I like to put it.
Yeah, those are the issues we deal with. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You go ahead. It's the everyday man.
And it's kind of like the real traditional country music. It was, but they told stories about their everyday life to the working man, like Ronnie said. It appeals to the everyday Joe. So
in today's society, we have a little bit too much of entertainment going on when it comes to this business. Yeah, it's entertaining, but if you have to be good for real. You have to know your instrument or your voice, whatever you're using. You have to be fluent in that for real to do this, and then you have to have a good mind and emotional state to do this.
Yeah,
you can't just
I'll buy that.
Yeah. It ain't for everybody, as Danny Joe Brown said.
That's true.
But the album's called By the Horns, and that's how you're grabbing life, isn't it? And that reflects in exactly what you've just said. Is that you've got to be committed to it. You've got to be sort of there as one. You've got to face these things head on, and that's, I think,
absolutely.
Well, run from it. Tell you that.
I think you got to learn from it. That thing a lot right there, though.
I think there's a vulnerability in what we do that we're not sitting in a sterile corporate environment trying to write a hit song. We're just writing what we feel like writing and singing about what the issues that we face. And the danger in that is maybe people don't get it. And if they don't get it, they don't get it. It's nothing personal. Our feelings aren't hurt. But when people really get it, then they really get you, and there's a connection made, and that's how fan bases are built. And
very well said.
It's difficult for us to learn. It's difficult for me and the rest of the guys to use the word fans because, hell, if you spend your money on us and you come to see us, you're more of a friend to me than you are a fan. We're all in this together,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know obviously the fans, if you want to call it that, the supporters, the congregation, aren't they? That's the name of
yes,
and that is that, again, it's that deep connection, and it's that whole feeling as one. And I think the best bands have that sort of attitude. Yeah, you can have the megastars on the stage, and they're far removed, and people love that. But I think for me personally, that connection with the music and with the musicians who make it is so important to live and for the music to grow.
Yeah, I agree with that. You mentioned Made of Stone earlier. When we showed up, not knowing exactly how it was going to come off. I mean, we're early in the day. It's on the last day of a big festival, and there were thousands of people in front of the stage at noon singing the words of the songs.
That's such an amazing feeling.
I mean, it's like, wow, and that's when it kind of sank in. And we need to keep doing this thing as we're doing this thing, because we had lost Marty, and and Nick showed up and did a heck of a job, but he's a busy boy. And like Ronnie was saying earlier, we've got Daryl in, and we turned this record out, and we're grabbing our musical careers by the horns and just running with it. Got to.
There's a real live feel, I think, with the album. There's
agreed.
I think Glenn Tabor was the producer, and he's a great producer.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a madman. We love him.
Amazing guy.
The record was basically recorded live. I mean, you're isolated. I mean, the guitar amps are cranked, banked, effects are non-existent pretty much, and the drums are in a room, but all the amps are sequestered away from each other, so there's no bleed over. And I'm hidden over here in a vocal booth about 20 feet away. We can all visually pretty much see each other, and it was, count to 4 and go, and then overdub the vocals and the solos.
So was that your idea?
It was live because it was live.
Yeah.
Pretty much how Preacher Stone does it.
Yeah. Well, Glenn, he brought us all into the room and, asked, that he'd worked with Preacher Stone in the past, and there was been more of a polished sound on some of the earlier records, and he wanted to know how we wanted to do it. And since we weren't replacing Johnny and bringing in a keyboard player, and we weren't, we wanted to make a raw rock and roll record. And he said, well, let's try a few things, and he did, and we were like, yeah, that's exactly the sound we were going for.
Well, it does certainly capture that sort of live experience, but with a little bit of polish, which you expect for a studio thing, but the heart and the soul is there, and I think again the songwriting, I think for probably my 3 favorite tracks that are bunched up, because you got Devil You Know, Blessing and a Curse, and Old Joe, which I think are at the moment my sort of highlights of the album, but that probably sort of change over time. But they're great songs, and I think you capture something of this, so much of the spirit of what they're about by doing it that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, man, heck of a side, and everybody brought something to the table for this record as well. Ben brought in songs, Daryl brought in songs, Wyatt brought in songs, Ronnie brought in songs. I mean, it's just, rather than having one key lick writer, this is probably the most group effort of any Preacher Stone record that's been done to date. And
it absolutely was, and in some respects, it was one of the most terrifying and rewarding at the same time record, because the guy who founded the band's not there, and he was the guy that was always coming in with these licks, and some of them were brilliant, and some of them were weirdly brilliant, and what are you going to do? And Daryl comes in with 2. Ben comes in with a couple. I had a couple. Wyatt comes in with 1. Your drummer comes in with this killer keyboard riff that gets translated into a guitar riff that works. And I would throw nothing, and anybody jump in and whatever, but nothing comes in the band room and leaves the same way. Your idea when it comes in doesn't necessarily go out the way you had it, because everybody's put their little bit to it and their little take to it. And, we are been really good. One of the things I'm really love about this band and been really proud about this band is we don't tell each other how to do. I would never tell them how to play guitar, Wyatt how to play drums, or Jim how to play bass. And we just all work, and we've had this idea since all of us have been together. Try it. Let's don't argue about it for 30 minutes. Just try it.
Yeah, and that stems from an ultimate trust that each one of us has in the guy next to us, and I think that leads to a product that's undeniable. I had a lot of fun on making this record. I had a lot of fun working with Daryl. The amount of respect and trust that we have in one another as like the guitar playing team of the band. There's a bond that needs to be forged there. There's a bond that has been forged there, and you you get outside of our little guitar duo and you put that kind of chemistry into a collective group, you get solid work. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
Bottom line.
I agree.
Again, you know, you've proven yourself so many times on the road, and the list of people you've toured with and played with is like a who's who. You know, Skinner, Blackberry Smoke, ZZ Top, Molly Hatchet, Shooter Jennings, Lucinda Williams, Steve Earle. You know, the list goes on. Such incredible, incredible cast of people that you've shared stages with, and touring is such a bonding experience, isn't it? And playing in front of those audience, every audience is different, and you know, the only thing you can rely on is each other, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's us against the world. Ronnie likened it one time. It was early days of me and Ben being in the band, and he said, you know, we're not like going out like explorers or anything. We travel more like Vikings because we may or may not be able to make it back.
Somebody asked me about some friends of mine that play in a really successful cover band, and I mean they're good, you know. And somebody in my hometown was asking me one day at the gas pump, just out of the blue, said, "What's the difference between you guys and them?" And I said, "Well, they've got like this great bass boat, and they go win all the local tournaments, and they go regional, and then you know they're just killing it." And I said, "We're kind of like Vikings. We may not come back."
Burn the ship.
Exactly. We may have to burn it for to keep warm. You know, our ship may get burned as firewood. Yeah,
we'll rebuild it at the dock.
Exactly.
I'll say this. I mean, people ask you all the time. I want to do what you're doing. You know, what advice would you give? And mine is, how much do you like all of it? Because everybody loves playing in front of an audience when the audience is good, and everybody loves listening to a record that they recorded that sounds good. But how are you with van rides late at night with the same 5 or 6 people?
How are you on day 10 when you're in a strange country and you're damn tired of everything and you're about ready to go to sleep, and you find out that, you know, your last hotel might not have all the amenities that you wanted to have? Well,
yeah, like air conditioning.
That would never happen. That would never happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to take the good with the bad, because like Ronnie's correct. I mean, you know, everybody loves the gold. How are you with 10? How are you with shooter? You know.
Well, you know, it's just it's a case of, you know, do you really love what you're doing? And I do. And we have a saying in the band, and I will clean it up for places, but this is fun, damn it.
Yeah.
So we'll every once in a while we get in a situation where that has to come back. This is fun, damn it. You know?
Gotta have a little bit of biscuit with a little bit of gravy. It's not all gravy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Well, obviously, you know, sort of, you're over here very shortly in the new year with the tour, and you're touring with the guys from Revenant, who are a great bunch of guys. I don't know if you've spoken to them. Do you know them at all?
Just through contacts with our PR, Wes O'Neill PR. But we've spoken with them, talked with them, checked out their new EP that's out. I mean, it's going to rock. I mean, I can't think of a better little lineup to be coming over there with, and they're excited about going out with us, and we're excited about going on the road with them guys. You know, we're all on the phone. We're putting all the finishing touches on the travel arrangements. I mean, it's all done now. Everybody's like, "Hey, man, what are you taking? What are you taking now?" We're getting excited, like we're getting ready to go, to Disneyland or something.
Yeah, it's just a vacation.
Yeah, it's just a vacation, but
very expensive vacation.
Yeah.
Talk about Revenant for a second. The thing I look forward to is, I did the deep dive into their music and to understand, because I want to know what I'm going to see them 10, 11 nights. I want to have songs that I like, or like whatever. And I just feel like this is going to be one of those great cases where each band brings out the best in the other band, because they're serious. They're a good band. I mean, they're a great band, and they've got a unique sound, and they've got some power, and they got some really cool guitar stuff going on. And that's just going to make us have to bring our A game, and they bring their A game, and it's a very positive. The energy just builds. So this is going to be one hell of a show. So, and I'm putting my ad out right now. If you don't have your tickets yet, you better get them.
Don't sleep
This
on
is
them.
going to be one that you go, damn, I remember I saw them, and man, it's going to be like that.
I
No,
agree.
it's a great pairing, it really is. You know, they come from my old area down in down the south, and yeah, they're
So they're
fantastic.
Southern boys, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. That's right.
Yeah. So hopefully, you know, they'll behave themselves on tour, and they won't sort of, you know, you've been over here before, so they won't be able to prank you or anything. But
Yeah, it's all good. No, we've eaten the haggis in Glasgow. We've done all the crazy stuff. We've drank all the warm ales and all of the Ben's a fan of the ciders, so you know it's going to be fine. Yeah, no, I just hope we're not going to behave ourselves, so I don't know why they should behave themselves. So,
Definitely going to be a search.
I'm such a fan of the ciders. I all year have been putting together a small little nest egg of cider money. To try like ciders from different areas, and yeah. Hopefully I don't burn through my little nest egg in the first 2 or 3 days. That would be bad.
I'll have to bring some along for you.
There you go.
Okay, all right. I will gladly receive it.
Obviously, one of the stops on the tour is you're playing at the Cart and Horses.
Yeah.
In London, so sort of Leytonstone way, and obviously that the birthplace of Iron Maiden. How do you feel about sort of stepping on that sacred stage?
Let's let the world's biggest Steve Harris fan take that, Jim.
So, Paul, let me tell you, I'm actually just terribly excited about it. I'll probably miss sound check because I'll be walking around taking pictures of all the memorabilia and all the stuff, and it's awesome. I've heard it's an intimate room, but you know, Bannerman's is an intimate room too. But AC/DC played there, so you know, it's like when you're walking on hallowed ground of the music. I mean, if it wasn't for Steve Harris, I wouldn't own a bass guitar. So I'm terribly excited about going in and playing the same spots. So
I think
Steve's watching. Come on by, Steve.
I think Steve's side project is still playing there. I think they're.
Oh yeah, well, British Lions. Yeah, one of our first tours we played Leo's, and that's like Steve's little local hangout, and in Gravesend. And I was like, well, is he going to come by for a beer? I was just like a little fangirl. They were like, no, but here's his voodoo doll. You can hold it. It sits beside him while he drinks. I'm sitting over there stroking it.
Well, actually, British Lion are playing their Monday to Friday inclusive next week at the Cart.
Really?
Oh, so,
I love it.
And my buddy, one of my oldest buddies, Richard, is the singer. So I'll make sure that Steve leaves something there for you.
Man, that would be so good, buddy. Yeah, just tell about me. Like I said, it's a huge influence, and you know, and and plus everything he does away from music too. He's a super active guy, and from what I gather, they say he's a lovely gentleman. So
he is, yeah.
I hope that's true, because that's the way I think about him in my head, as being a nice guy. I've met a couple of my bass heroes. Some of them weren't quite lovely gentlemen, but that's for another interview later.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, but it's, you know, every stage you walk on, though, I think, you know, you treat it, you always put 100% in, don't you? And that's the only way to do it, irrespective of where it is or, you know, who's in front.
We play for another thing. We play for each other. I feel like a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I'm not going to go out there and mail one in, because you know, I'm surrounded by all this, you know, firepower. I better do my job, and I love it. I love the pressure of that, and because it pushes everybody to be their best. Mm-hmm. And you know, we've got this thing happens to us here in the States. You know, America's a pretty big place. We don't get all over America as often as we'd like. So we could be playing in North Carolina, and people have flown in from Texas and Wisconsin and New York and Florida. So anywhere we play, there could be somebody that traveled hundreds or thousands of miles to get there. So the mission is, you know, you've got to give it everything you got, because they came to see you.
Yeah. I buy that. I mean, you know, if you spent your money and you've worked all week and you've bought your ticket, you know, you don't, you know, I mean, I'm appreciating it, you know. Plus, like Ronnie said, you know, all the guys on the stage are These are some of the best musicians I've ever played with. And, I want to be the weak link on the stage, and I'm trying 110%.
Yeah.
If I'm the weak link, then you got a pretty strong chain.
So, Daryl, is this your first UK tour? Have you been over here before?
It is. I've never been there. No, sir. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Good. Well, it'll be an experience. Again, this is one of the things that Ronnie and I chat with about Made of Stone. The whole thing, the connection with, how important England is to play for you guys. That history that we've got, and I think it's special for us guys coming over to the States. Whenever we do.
Right.
As tourists or, bands I know, they love coming over there because you've got that history as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
UK bands are huge in my musical upbringing and tastes.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's when all that was happening in metal back in the day, or as we just called it, rock and roll. But it was Sabbath, it was Judas Priest, it was it's like those are the bands I listen to.
I'm even deeper. Like I like that all that, and I'm the UFO and Nazareth and Saxon and people like that. So yeah, I love it. I mean, it's just seeing going to Bannerman's and seeing that plaque that said that Thin Lizzy and AC/DC played there. I mean, I'm good.
That's very cool.
Played there. It's surreal.
Yeah, and we're going back, so that's awesome.
We're going back. I mean, and it's beautiful. I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know how emotional Made of Stone was going to be until it was, and it really hit me pretty hard. That to be playing a dream come true, an outdoor festival in the UK in front of thousands of people who knew the words. That's would have been one of my brightest moments in my career, to be quite honest.
It's great, and so we look forward to having you back over here next year, and sort of whatever the future holds. You're welcome over here whenever you can, and so you got a great new album to bring to us, and with Daryl as well. Obviously, the loss of Marty and Johnny was a difficult thing for you guys to get over, but your family, and we look forward to welcoming the family back.
Absolutely,
we look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely, bro.
When will we see you? What show will we see
well,
you?
I'll certainly try and get along to the Cart and Horses.
Awesome.
No, it's cool. Yeah, man. That's second night of the tour, I think, isn't it? It's right in there. But yeah, looking forward to Winter's End. Yeah, we're actually playing all three of the lovely countries: England, Scotland, and Wales. So it's going to be good.
Well, gentlemen, with all that promise, people need to buy the new album. They need to grab the tickets for the tour now. Yeah. It's going to be a heck of a tour, and again, sort of look forward to
have them head.
A great way to start the new day, the new year.
Have them head to preacherstoneband.com. You can get all of that there.
Download that baby.
Download that record. You don't have to wait on all this crazy shipping costs for us to get you on, or come see us at a show and pick up a CD or whatever. But definitely buy the tickets. All the ticket links are there. Some of them are getting close to being sold out, so don't sleep on it.
I'll put a link below. But gentlemen, again, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks,
and
Paul.
Have a great Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you very shortly.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Good.